Hallo Leute, hier ist wieder der Olli. Ich habe mal vor, etwas Multiplayer zu spielen und dafür habe ich mir hier die Enigma Cold War Trainingskampagne gezogen. Wo ihr die herbekommt, werde ich in der Beschreibung dieses Videos verlinken. Gut, wir beginnen jetzt einfach mal damit und lassen uns überraschen, was auf uns zukommt. Viel Spaß! So, Enigma Cold War. Kleine Einführung, dann mal los. So, auch wir nehmen uns hier meinen Lieblingsflieger jetzt im Moment, das ist die, wo ist sie denn? Naja. Die F86 ist gar nicht dabei. Schade. Okay, nehmen wir halt die F5. So, alles hergeladen und los geht's.
Welcome to the Enigma Cold War server training campaign. A few quick notes before we get started. First of all, this campaign aims to teach you everything you need to know for the Cold War server. We usually produce helicopter storyline campaigns, which I highly recommend. You can play through the missions one by one to learn everything about the server and the mechanics. Alternatively, after completing this introduction, you can skip all the missions and play only the ones that interest you. You can also repeat all the missions as many times as you want. All missions have background music. This is default on channel 1. You can adjust the volume in the cockpit radio. This is not possible with Flaming Cliff modules. Mission 6 is a large simulated scenario. You can open this mission via the mission editor and play it as a multiplayer mission with your friends. The show is now over. You can leave the mission now. It is considered successful.
Okay, das war jetzt einfach nur ein Überblick, was uns zu erwarten hat. Ja. Wir können die Missionen skippen und die uns interessieren, machen. Aber wir wollen jetzt hier mal alle machen. Gut, dann mal zur nächsten Mission. So, beenden. Missionsende. Und dann kommen wir zur nächsten. Classroom. So. Gut, dann mal los. Und er lädt wieder. Heute ist aber schnell mein Rechner. Wir nehmen meinen Lieblingstiger, die F86. So, alles da. Gut. Dann los.
Welcome to the flight school. I am available today to answer your questions about the Cold War server. You don't have to start up the jet. We will not fly, only knowledge today.
Mist.
Ask what you want to know or leave the mission at any time. It is not necessary to listen to tutorials you don't care about. Let me know what you are interested in through the communication system.
Ah, okay. So, also ich kann jetzt hier die einzelnen Tutorials durchgehen. Wir gehen jetzt mal zu Basic.
Alright, let's take a look at the frontline mechanics. Here is an example of a typical map that you can expect online. The playing field is divided into hexagons. Red and blue are self-explanatory. The black hexagons cannot be conquered. On the far left and right are the capitals of the factions. The goal is to capture the enemy capital. The front always runs where the red and blue sectors are adjacent to each other. Deep in the respective territories are the factories of the factions. These produce the supplies. The supplies are then distributed via the depots, represented here by the trucks. Simple, The factory sends the supplies to the depot sends them to the front in form of ground units, where they get destroyed by the players. Every battle phase takes 4 hours and is segmented in 15-minute ticks. On every tick, the development on the battlefield get tracked, saved and visualized with the life point bars. After calculation, if possible, the AI general will resupply the front line. Okay, let's take a look at how a sector can be conquered. Hostile sectors that lie next to each other fight. If a sector has lost its entire life bar by the end of a 4-hour phase, it will be conquered by the other side. So a sector can only be taken over by the ground troops. Let's take a simplified look at this in detail. Here we have 2 sectors, both with the same number of ground troops. Until the next tick, both sides fly airstrikes on the other sector. Blue has lost 1 ground troop, while red has lost them all. This means that the red sector will lose life points at the next tick. If the logistic line is not interrupted, the front lines get resupplied. How to cut at the supply you will learn in the ground attack tutorial. The basic tutorial is now over. Choose another one or leave the mission.
Die nächste. Ground Attack.
Alright, the next item is the ground attack missions that can be performed by the players. These can be divided into 3 levels of complexity. Let's start with the simplest you can do, attacks on the front line. The advantage is that the front line is the closest target and the targets are not deep in the enemy territory. The more units you take out on the front line, the more superior your sector is at the next tick and the more life points the enemy sector loses. Ground units are not marked on map as long as a recon plane have found them. This type of mission is simple at first look, but in a real combat situation you have to expect enemy interceptors. For this, attack aircraft like the Frogfoot, the A-10 but also attack helicopters are best for the job. This type of mission is best suited for beginners and solo pilots. Let's move on to the more complex missions. The goal of all higher missions is to cut off enemy supplies. Let's take a closer look. When the supply is cut off, the front is no longer supplied. When ticking, the sector not only loses life points, but also does not receive new units. This means that it will lose life points with each additional tick, since it will continue to lose life points without any action on the part of the players. Let's take a closer look at the missions against the logistic. Here you can see a simplified overview of You have 3 possibilities to cut off the supply. Attack the depots, the factories or the supply line. Here marked by the explosions. Let's move on to the level 2 mission, the depot strike. Depots are located behind the front line in enemy territory, and they are always marked on the map. If the depot is destroyed, it will affect several front sectors. On the photo you can see a depot. To take out the whole depot alone you need a longer time over the target, so it is a good idea to fly this mission together with other players. You have to enter the enemy territory, get rid of your bombs and get out again without being intercepted. For this purpose, fast fighter bombers are better suited than attack planes. Let's get to the level 3 mission, the factory strike. Again, the target is a big complex. If you want to destroy it completely you need a lot of firepower. Also, the factories are well behind enemy lines in its heartland and are always marked on the map. If a factory is destroyed, the goods produced there are lost for a long time. Getting to enemy factories unnoticed is almost impossible, and given the distance, fuel becomes a real issue. You should make a plan together with others and rely on fast planes with extra tanks if you want to complete this mission successfully. The last way to cut off supplies is to attack the supply line itself. In order to cut off the supply line, it must first be uncovered. Supply lines only spawn when spotted by a recon plane. When spotted, they may appear in the form of a train or an important bridge. The supply line is repaired relatively quickly, and it has to be spotted by recon planes first, but it's not deep in enemy territory and you can destroy it with light weapons. The ground attack tutorial is now over. Choose another topic or leave the mission.
So, planes.
Let's talk about planes. Airplanes are not for free. Which sector loses how much life points when ticking is not only dependent on the front units. The strength of the opposing frontline units is calculated with a factor that depends on the lost aircraft. In order not to make it unnecessarily complicated, you should remember that lost planes have a huge influence on the calculation of the front sectors. If you are shot down or if you exit the plane without being in an airport or road-based zone, the plane is considered lost. The most advanced planes, the F-14 for the blue side and the MiG-29 for the red, are restricted. To access them you have to earn 15 campaign points. Campaign points are generated by more or less everything you can do. Once you have gained them, you can access the slot. The campaign points are spent on the plane and get reduced by 15. Helicopters can rescue downed pilots, restoring 60% of the points the pilot's plane cost. Therefore, whenever possible, you should use the ejection seat when you've been shot down. In summary, don't waste planes. Only log out in airport and road-based zones and use the eject seat when possible to give the helicopter pilots the chance to save the lost points. Choose the next topic or leave the mission now.
Also eigentlich sollte man, wenn man abspringt, warten, bis man gerettet wird, beziehungsweise über einer Airbase, über einer eigenen Airbase abspringen. Ja, jedes verlustige Flugzeug wird die Punkte reduzieren. Also, Flight Safety. So, was haben wir noch? Overload, was ist das?
An important part of the Cold War server is the community. There are often players who take on the role of the human GCI. These players have a full overview of the map and try to coordinate the battle. For a great multiplayer experience, you should join the human GCI radio channel. You can ask the GCI where you are needed or ask him if he can organize an escort for you. You don't have to be able to speak pilot language here. Furthermore, the server has a voice-based AI-controlled air monitoring system, called Overlord. This ensures that enemy aircraft are reported up to 10 miles over the radio or finds targets for you. Overlord is not difficult to set up, but you must always ensure that you only give overload commands on this radio channel. Neither can be displayed in single player. Please have a look at the video tutorials from ENIGMA on this topic. That's all the information about human GCI and Overlord. Choose another topic or leave the mission.
Gut, das war's eigentlich schon. Also Kommunikation ist wichtig, gerade im Multiplayer. Das war jetzt gerade ein Hinweis zu einem Funkserver, den man installieren kann, um mit seinen Kollegen zu kommunizieren. Hier ist eine Pilotensprache nicht notwendig, einfach nur plappern. Hey du, ich hab was gesehen. Was denn? Ein Flugzeug, das bin ich. Okay. Gut, dann können wir jetzt hier leaven. So. Beenden und dann mal sehen, was als nächstes kommt. Missionsende. Identifikation und Informationsflug. Okay, bin mal gespannt. Heute ist aber schnell mein Rechner. Okay. So, wir gehen jetzt wieder auf die F86. Los geht's. Oh, ich sitze im Flugzeug, das ist gut. So, wir müssen Flugzeuge identifizieren und Informationen bleiben. Oh. Okay. Stay close to the instructor.
Good that you are here. We can't let you loose on the hot conflict until we're sure you won't shoot down our own guys. That's why you and I are going to have a short training session first, so that you can identify friend from foe. So, quick briefing next. I'm right next to you at 3 o'clock in the red MiG. Stay in formation. While we fly our route, you can practice identifying us. We've installed an experimental device in your jet. It will help you with identification. Remember, you don't have this in real conflict. To be sure of identifying a plane, you should see it from above or below. Only then can you be sure of the silhouette. Let's try it out right away when the next planes come by. I will ask you and you answer with the communication radio, category others.
Also Informationsbleiben und Flugzeuge erkennen. Schauen wir mal, ob wir es hinkriegen. Aber schön ist es hier.
Look up on the left at 11 o'clock above us. There are 2 jets flying. Which one is the MiG-21? The left or the right aircraft?
Ich würde sagen die rechte. Ne, die linke.
That was right. Very good. Let's see if you can identify the next plane.
Also hier ist es wichtig, wenn man in VR fliegt, dass man sich die beiden Tasten VR Zoom und VR Spyglass holt. Sonst ist man hier verloren. Und diese beiden Tasten sollte man sich dann auf den HOTAS legen. Dramatische Musik. Ah. Aber gut gemacht.
Look below on the right at 2 o'clock close to the ground. There are 2 jets flying. Which one is the bigger? The left or the right aircraft?
Das ist die rechte.
That was right. Very good. Let's see if you can identify the next plane.
Nicht zu schnell.
Look straight up, high above us. There are jets flying. Which one is the Mirage F1? The left or the right aircraft?
Ich würde hier sagen, die rechte.
That was right. Very good. Let's see if you can identify the next plane.
Das andere ist eine F-18. Sag ich jetzt einfach so. Aufschließen. Ich komme ja schon.
On the left side, 11 o'clock low, there are the next ones. Which one is the MiG-19?
Aufpassen, dass ich nicht zusammenstoße. Ah, die rechte.
That was right. Very good. Let's see if you can identify the next plane.
Das macht Spaß.
Above us, slightly to the left, 11 o'clock is a pair of aircraft. Which one is the Sabre?
Ich sitze da schon drin. Das ist die linke. Die mit der kurzen Schnauze.
That was right. Very good. Let's see if you can identify the next plane.
Sehr schön. So mag ich das. Wenn der wüsste, dass ich ihn gestern abgeschossen habe. Sind noch die alten.
Look below on the right at 2 o'clock close to the ground. There are 2 jets flying. Which one is the MiG-15? The left or the right aircraft?
Jo. Das war einfach. Die linke.
That was right. Very good. Let's see if you can identify the next plane.
Da hauen sie ab.
Look up on the left at 11 o'clock above us. There are 2 jets flying. Which one is the C-101? The left or the right aircraft?
Wie sieht denn die jetzt aus? Ich glaube, das ist die rechte.
That was right. Very good. Let's see if you can identify the next plane.
Also die beiden Zoom-Tasten sind bei VR-Flügen absolut notwendig. Mal wieder zu schnell hier. Abbremsen.
On the left side, 11 o'clock low, there are the next ones. Which one is the Albatross?
Ah, okay, die Albatros hat diese komischen Flügelnasen. Hä? Wo ist mein... Ach hey, wo ist er denn jetzt hin? Naja, okay. Also wir wissen, dass der linke ist. So.
That was right. Very good. Let's see if you can identify the next plane.
Da bist du. Puh. Wieder zurück in die Formation. Entschuldigung, war abgelenkt. Da bin ich wieder.
Look below on the right at 2 o'clock close to the ground. There are 2 jets flying. Which one is the MB-339? The left or the right aircraft?
Okay. Kann ich noch nicht richtig sehen. Ich glaube die linke, ne? Oh. War doch die rechte.
That was wrong. You better concentrate. New chance on next stage.
Versagt. Ja, jetzt sieht man's. Und wieder zu schnell.
On the left side, 11 o'clock low, there are the next ones.
Left Seite.
Which one is the famous Su-25?
Okay. Das ist die linke. Die sieht aus wie so ein Frosch.
That was right. Very good. Let's see if you can identify the next plane.
Bin ja schon wieder da. Oh. Und wo sind die Bikini-Models am Strand? Ah. Sieht man nix.
Look to the right side, 2 o'clock low, there are the next attack aircrafts.
Ah.
Which one is the A-10 Warthog?
Das ist er. Die rechte.
That was right. Very good. Let's see if you can identify the next plane.
Also die Silhouette kann man gar nicht falsch raten. Mit ihren zwei Triebwerken auf dem Rücken. Huckepack. So, wie viel hat er denn noch? Wait for orders. Okay, da fliegen sie.
You did a good job. You were ready for combat. Remember this training before you fire missiles on the Cold War server, and I'm sure you can avoid friendly fire. Okay, we are through with the identification training for now. Further along the coast is Gudauta Airport. If you feel like it, you can land there. You can also leave the training immediately. Your progress is saved. I will land now. See you in the next training.
Okay. Wie, ich kann ihn nicht abschießen? Oh, ich habe gar keine Waffen. Okay. Na gut. So. Also das hat wieder Spaß gemacht. Jetzt schauen wir mal, was als nächstes kommt. Beenden. Missionsende. Oha. Road Base.